Hello, my name is Steve Delahunty. I'm here on behalf of iQuasar today to speak to you, to give you an update about the most recent DHS PACTS draft RFP, which was October of this year, and also the recent November Industry Day held by DHS on the subject of PACTS. It's important to note that DHS did not post the slides from the Industry Day. We've captured some of those slides in our presentation. Also, if you have any questions, you can submit them to iQuasar using the contact information in this presentation, and we will do our best to get answers directly to you on any questions that you may have. So the Industry Day was held on Thursday, 9 November. Several hour presentation, some Q&A, and also frequently asked questions in there. What I'm going to cover here is what didn't change from the most recent draft, in the recent drafts, what didn't change and what has changed in the most recent drafts, so you can kind of differentiate what we had covered in our previous iQuasar DHS PACTS presentation. So what didn't change, still, there's no limit on the number of projects that a bid team can submit. So if you're looking at PACTS and you're putting together your projects, you need to have as many projects as you possibly can, because you're going to be competing with teams that have a large number of projects that they're submitting. What also didn't change, they're still limiting the number of awards under each functional category, and we'll go over that in more depth, but they're still limiting the number of awards under each functional category. So this is not a scoring situation where if you score above a certain level or if you're compliant, you're going to get an award. That's not true. It's very competitive. There's still awards to be under each of 4 socioeconomic tracks: 8A, Woman-Owned Small Business, Hub Zone, and SDVOSB. Those 4. No small business track, but those four socioeconomic tracks. So there is still no pure small business track. The projects you submit still have to be a mix that fall within $6 ranges, which is in the draft RFP. They're kind of stratified between $10,000 to $50 million, but multiple levels within each of that. The project values are based on obligated dollars, not contract value, not ceiling value, but obligated dollars as of when you submit your bid, and the contracts have to be less than 2 years old. Those are still the same, obligated dollars and less than 2 years old. You still can't use large business teammates, no large business teammates, except if you're in an 8A mentor-protege joint venture. Then you could use your mentor, of course, in that situation per SBA guidelines. So functional categories, when you look at the functional categories, this slide picture here is from the Industry Day. They're still the same 3 functional categories: administrative management, general management, office admin, and engineering. Still those 3 functional categories. These are 3 separate procurements, 3 totally separate procurements. So what's new? They are allowing 8 awards per socioeconomic category per functional category. So, and we'll go over the stratification on that. Previously it was 5, and now they're stratifying. So there's only going to be, for instance, on functional category 1, if you look at the 4 socioeconomic categories, 4 times 8 is 32. There's only going to be 32 awards in each functional category. So when you look at the stratification, the data we have here on this slide, what DHS has said is they're going to make 2 awards per type of offerer, meaning 2 of a prime bidder with no subs. They've been vague on whether or not you could do a CTA, a contractor teaming arrangement where all the companies are considered to be primes. They've been vague on that. 2 awards for prime with subs, so you can bring in subcontractors, but they're only going to have 2 awards per that stratification, per socioeconomic category, per functional category. There's going to be 2 for small business joint ventures and 2 for mentor-protege JVs. So again, when you look at for instance, 8A, under functional category 1, there's going to be 2 8A prime awards, 2 8A prime awards where they've got subs, 2 8A prime awards that are in a regular old JV, and 2 8A awards where it's a mentor-protege JV. So they also, what's new in here is that if the projects meet the definition of being recent and relevant from any of the members of the team, they're usable. They refer to what's called small business teaming arrangements, SBTA. So in DHS's definition, that is the prime with subs, small business JV or mentor protege JV. It's the small business teaming arrangements. So now they're allowing teaming on that second category, prime with subs. But again, keep in mind that only 2 awards will be made under each socioeconomic, under each functional category for a prime with subs. So that's what's new in this iteration of the draft RFP. In the industry day, they also provided a procurement timeline update. A reminder, each functional category will have its own solicitation. So we've already seen multiple drafts. We had the industry day. They say we're going to have the final solicitation posted on sam.gov in November, and we're in November. We'll see what happens. Hopefully they won't put it out on Thanksgiving Day, but they're supposed to post the final solicitation or solicitations on SAM. Proposals are going to be due end of January and an award of August of next year. Of course, this is government. All of these dates could slip. So what was of interest during the industry day too is that the government covered a series of frequently asked questions. So we captured those screens on here for you. So they answered the question about why are we not limiting the number of projects an offeror can submit. Again, as we notified you on, there's no limit on the number of projects that you could put in here. So you could be very well competing with a company or a team that put in 200 plus projects. And they explained their reasoning on that. The next question was, why are they limiting only 8 contract awards? They have said they could make more, but again, originally they said 8. Originally they said 5. Now they're saying 8. So it could be more, but it's still not a very large number of awards per functional category, per socioeconomic track. The third and fourth frequently asked questions were about only going back 2 years and mandating that you got to have 6 months of work performed, and they're defending that answer. The fourth question is about the small business teaming arrangements, SBTAs, and if you can use first-tier subcontractors. And yes, you can do that per their definitions, per the RFP. And again, we went over that previously we thought, you're either going to have to stand on your own or maybe CTA or JV or have a mentor protege JV. Now you can have a prime sub. But again, only 2 of those type of awards per socioeconomic category, per functional category. The fifth question was about aligning our projects. How do we align the projects? They give an example about how to do that, and it's also very much more in depth covered in the procurement itself, in the draft RFP if you take a look. They are also, on the next question, the sixth question was about how come only one contractor could take ownership of the scope of work of a project. If you maybe have 2 companies that are doing, one's a prime, one's a sub, can the prime claim all of the work? Can the sub claim their portion of the work? And of course, keeping in mind the portion of the work that is germane to the scope of PACTS, for instance. So, and the predominant nature of the scope. And so they answered that question. The 40% mandate, question number 7, as far as especially mentor proteges, they want this requirement to basically give them assurance that the prime has the ability to perform the work. So you might have seen procurements where basically all of your past forms, all of your project experience can come from the teammates. They don't want that here. They want 40% to come from the prime. And they also explained in a minor sense why they removed some projects that were in the less than $1 million range, and I believe that's just for functional category 1, if I recall correctly. But they explained their reasoning there. One other reminder here: the projects that you submit cannot be used in another proposal once it's claimed, once it's used. So, for instance, if you're bidding as a SDVOSB team in functional category 1, no other SDVOSB team can use your project. It appears that another different socioeconomic could use that project, but you got to double check and triple check what's in the final solicitation on that front. And that's very much similar to what we saw in like Oasis and Polaris and some other procurements recently. And then the government explained their source selection process. I wanted to include that slide from the government here so you would have it and you could see what they presented. They're going to rank all the proposals based on the scoring. Reminder that there's a scoring sheet related to all the projects you submit, all the point values you get out of them. Almost the entire point value structure is derived from all your projects. You do get some points for your accounting system and clearance, but it's negligible compared to just the sheer volume of points you get out of all the projects you submit. So they're going to rank. and so they're going to go through their source selection process exactly like they show here on the screen. So again, very short update on Industry Day and the recent draft RFP. If you have any questions for the iQuasar team, and of course I'm available to answer through them, please let us know, and we'll do our best to get back with you.